cactus and succulent growers, I'm Lynn and welcome to Desert Plants of Avalon in the north of Ireland. And today's video is going to be a bit of a fun video. What is the most ugliest cactus in my collection? And this is actually a little fun topic that we've got for one of our meetings at the Cactus Society that we have here in Belfast, and I thought it'd be quite a fun video to do to share my ugliest cactus. To think of cacti as ugly. I think that they are beautiful despite how they look, and sometimes it's the little imperfections that sort of add their uniqueness and beauty to them. But I do have one in my collection that is really quite ugly looking, and it is in desperate need of a very much desperate need of a pruning and a repropagating as well. So then guys, out of my collection, which one is it? I'm going to show you now. This is the one. And this is actually one that's in my office. So I've come into the office now to show you. And this is actually one of my dragon fruit cacti, Hylocereus, that I've grown myself from seed. I think it must have been back in 2014 or 2015, quite a few years ago. And it is in a very sorrowful looking state, as you can see here. It's not blessed with beauty, as they say. I'm going to tell you why it's not actually. It's my own fault. This is actually looking very scabby. I have to prune this off, and this part here is actually rotting back. This isn't actually one dragon fruit plant, it's actually probably about 100, and that's because, as I mentioned, I sown it from seed back in 2014 or 2015, and I planted them all together in a pot. I actually harvested a dragon fruit that I got from one of the fruit markets in Dublin, and it germinated really well, growing really well, and I should have really separated all of the seedlings, because each one of these little branches here, as you can see, is actually an individual Hylocereus dragon fruit, and I just put it all and kept potting it up into the next size pot, kept them all as they were, and I was thinking, oh, I'll separate them eventually, because I thought if I separate all of these and pot them all up individually, it's gonna take over the whole entire, probably my whole entire house or polytunnel. So I just kept them together, and it's been growing and growing, and now it is suffering because they're all in the same pot and it's looking very scabby and horrible. So what I'm going to have to do with this over the next couple of weeks or so, now it's coming to the spring, is obviously prune off this. This is gone and this is unsightly, but it has a lot of healthy sort of segments, and they're so easy to propagate. Rather than try and take this plant out and separate every single one, you probably find all the roots are completely all growing together. It'd be impossible to do anyway. It's just easier for me just to take cuttings, and I can take cuttings of the healthy ones, such as this lovely big fatty one here. That'd be a lovely cutting. Cut it back there, and that'd be a nice cutting. Same with these ones here. There's lots of healthy cuttings on these. Around here I can show you my lovely healthy cuttings, and I will then let them dry for a couple of weeks and then pot them up into gritty soil and treat as a cutting. And I have actually made a video on how to take how to propagate dragon fruit from cuttings, and if you have a dragon fruit that's looking a little bit worse for wear, or say you've sown a load of seeds together and it's outgrown the pot and it's going to be too much work to separate them all, it's also going to be easier just to take cuttings. It's going to make the plant itself better. Then do check out a video I've made on how to root Hylocereus dragon fruit cuttings, and I'll link that video up above. Also, if you want to know how to grow Hylocereus dragon fruit from seed from a fruit, then do check a video I've made when I actually did sow the seeds of these multiple dragon fruits in this pot, and I'll link that video up above. As you can see, very successful how they germinated, quite fast growing, and got lovely healthy parts here that I'm going to be able to propagate and prune back. Might be able to keep some part of the plant, I'm not sure, but there's so many lovely healthy chunky pieces here. And I actually did test this out a couple of years ago. I took one of these, cut one of these off as a cutting, and I'll just show you here. I've got this here, and look at it now. This was the cutting that I took. This is here, and it has grown from here all the way up, as you can see. There it is, growing all the way. I actually have it tied up to this plant stand. These Hylaceaus, including this one, they all go outside into the polytunnel for the spring and summer months. But I bring them in for winter because they're not cold hardy. Dragon fruits are often used as well as a sort of grafting stock for a lot of cacti. And they're not cold hardy, so they need a minimum of 50°F, which is 10 Celsius. So that's why I overwinter them in and just sort of leave them there pretty much dry until the spring, when I move them out into the polytunnel. They are epiphytic, but they're also a mix between epiphytic and the desert. They're more tropical cacti, so they're not like my other epiphytes here that my Ripsalis, for example, that need regular watering. Totally different. So that's my little ugly bug. that I think cacti are ugly, but do stay tuned when I give this a bit of a pruning and a propagation in the next couple of weeks or so. I'm going to transform this plant and take lots of cuttings. So then guys, I hope you enjoyed that bit of a fun video, and do stay tuned for a video coming up in the next week or so when I do a complete propagation on my dragon fruit cactus. As you can see, it's in desperate need, but they're great to propagate. And do you have any cactus plants in your collection that are not blessed with looks? Do let me know in the comments down below. And if you haven't done already, then don't forget to subscribe and do click the notification bell. Do also check out the many other videos I have here on my channel. Lots of care tips on growing many different types of cacti and succulents. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook at Desert Plant of Avalon. And do check out my website, desertplantofavalon.com, for regular blogs and care tips on there. I want to wish you all a beautiful cactus powered day.